the footsteps that never came. In a small, quiet village, where mist clung to the ground and the trees whispered in the night, there was a story that every parent told their children to keep them from wandering too far from home. It was the story of the boy without feet, a tale that had been passed down for generations. Most kids didn't believe it, thinking it was just a way to keep them out of trouble. But as everyone in the village knew, there was truth to the legend. It was said that, late at night, if you ventured too close to the forest's edge, you might see him, a small boy, no older than 8, standing in the shadows. He was always dressed in old-fashioned clothing, like he belonged to another time. But what made him terrifying, what made the story so haunting, was what he didn't have. He had no feet. His legs ended at his ankles, as if they had been cut clean off, leaving only stumps. Despite this, he moved silently, as if gliding across the ground. And if you were unlucky enough to see him, it was said he would follow you home. Not by walking, but by appearing in your dreams, in your house, always just out of sight, until it was too late. Tommy's encounter. Tommy was 12 when he first heard the tale of the boy without feet. He had always been a skeptic, rolling his eyes at ghost stories and local legends. His friends would tell him about the eerie glow they saw in the forest or the strange noises at night, but Tommy didn't believe any of it. To him, they were just stories meant to scare little kids. One late autumn evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Tommy found himself alone by the edge of the forest. He had been playing with his friends near the river, but they had all gone home, and Tommy wasn't ready to leave yet. The forest was dark, the trees swaying softly in the cold wind, but Tommy felt no fear. The village was only a short walk away. But then, just as he turned to head home, something caught his eye. At first, he thought it was just a shadow. But as the mist began to rise from the forest floor, the shape became clearer. A figure stood beneath a large oak tree, half hidden in the darkness. It was a boy, his small frame barely visible in the fading light. He was staring at Tommy, silent, unmoving. Tommy squinted, trying to make out more details. The boy looked familiar, like someone he might have seen in an old photo, his clothes strange, like something out of a history book. But there was something else, something Tommy couldn't quite see. The boy wasn't standing. He was hovering, his legs ending at the ankles, where there should have been feet. Tommy's heart skipped a beat. It couldn't be, could it? The boy without feet. Tommy blinked, rubbing his eyes, sure he was seeing things. But when he looked again, the boy was still there, only closer now. His eyes locked onto Tommy's, hollow and dark, as if they held nothing but shadows. Without thinking, Tommy turned and ran, his feet pounding against the dirt path as he raced back toward the village. His breath came in ragged gasps, and his heart thundered in his chest. He didn't stop until he was at his front door, slamming it shut behind him. His mother called from the kitchen, but Tommy couldn't answer, too shaken by what he had seen.